Hello and welcome back to Heartbaked, you guys. We are still on the Radley route. We are now on Chapter 7 or Chapter 6 of the Radley route. And we are just gonna hop right back in. We are barely with any hearts. Radley has been, I think, the worst yet. Because I think I've had a little bit with each one of them. But I think Radley's the one that I've had the least with. If I'm remembering correctly, which I might not be. But at least I did better on Carver. That's all I know. And I think I did better on Benjamin my first time around. Radley's just getting the short end of the stick. I guess I don't understand. I don't understand, boys. Anyway, let's just hop right into Chapter 7. Here's your order. I hope they're to your liking. I smiled at the customer that stood at the other side of the counter and placed a box of 12 cupcakes in front of her. Oh, Tiger, these are beautiful as usual, but, they're vanilla. She gave me a sort of sad smile, and I gasped as I realized she ordered chocolate cupcakes. I'm sorry about that. Let me go grab you your correct order. I scooped the box up and dove into my kitchen. This was at least the third time that I've done this today. Maybe it was 4? I quickly unfolded a new box and put 12 chocolate cupcakes in it, then I returned to the front and put the new box in front of her. I'm so sorry about that. Don't worry, everybody has bad days. These look lovely, thank you so much. She placed the correct amount of chips on the counter and walked out with the box. I scooped the chips off the counter and dropped a few in the process, and placed the ones I actually scooped successfully into the register. I kneeled down and picked up the ones that fell. The door opened, and I jumped up to greet the customer. Bang! Ow! I hit my head on the drawer of the cash register and found myself kneeling on the ground again. Why didn't I close that stupid thing? I stood up slowly, this time moving away from the offending drawer. Hello, welcome to Tiger's Pastries. I smiled as wide as I could and put the few chips away and made sure to close the drawer this time. Are you all right, miss? That sounded like it hurt a bunch. A younger girl. Ooh, it's a younger girl. It's okay. Are you all right, miss? That sounded like it hurt a bunch. A young girl looked at me with doe eyes. I'm fine. What can I get for you today? She burst into a giant smile and pointed at a cake. It's Mama's birthday. Pops sent me to get a cake. Any cake. All right. Let me just grab that for you. I carefully picked up a pastel purple cake with beautiful icing flowers as decoration. I put it in a box and told her the total. She pulled more than enough chips out of her pocket and dropped them on the counter and waited. I scooped them up successfully this time and put them in the register. Thank you. I smiled and waved to her. She stood there for a minute and just stared at me. Was I forgetting something? Why was she being so creepy? Miss, what about my change? She pouted. Oh, right, change. Just a test. I pulled out the key to the register and opened it, taking out the girl's change and handing it to her. She put the chips in her pocket and grabbed the cake. She practically ran out of the shop and I let out a long sigh. Maybe I did hit my head too hard. Why was I acting like this? Get yourself together, Tiger. I used my full name at that point. I slapped my cheeks. I slapped my cheeks a few times and nodded determinedly. I can do this. I'm Tiger. I'm amazing. I'm not going to let some guy distract me from my work. Okay, it wasn't some guy, it was Radley. Even more of a reason to not let him distract you. He isn't even here. But I couldn't stop thinking about him. I sighed again. More like I couldn't stop thinking about whether I actually liked him or not. How could I think that without being disgusted? A few days ago, all I could think was, ew, and it's for the cake. Yoo-hoo! I blinked a few times when a hand was thrust in front of my face and it started waving. Ah! I jumped back, startled, and found myself looking directly at the guy who had been plaguing my thoughts all day. If you keep on zoning out like that, Carvel will march right into your kitchen and steal your recipe book. He laughed as I calmed myself down and glared at him. Don't just jump out in front of people like that. What do you mean? I've been here for like 5 minutes. I raised my eyebrow and he paused. Okay, maybe like 2. Wait, what time is it? You're back early. Weren't you on deliveries? Did you jump them all in the river? Dump them all in the river? Not river? Oh wow. Hold on. We redo that. Wait, what time is it? You're back early. Weren't you on deliveries? Did you dump them all in the river? Ouch, Ty. He looked physically hurt. I would never do that. You have no faith. Never? My eyebrow found itself even higher on my head. Never again. He pouted to hold back a laugh, and I rolled my eyes. I finished early because I wanted to have time to go out today. I mean, if you want to go out again, I want to go out again. I had fun yesterday. You said you had fun too. You mean it, right? So do you... Radley. I threw my hand up to cut him off. I don't know. Today isn't really a good day. Yeah, I heard people saying that you've seemed really down today. That's why I finished early. I wanted us to go out again so we can have fun and you can cheer up. His innocent smile was contagious, and I found myself smiling back at him. That was really sweet of him. Okay, fine. We can go out for later, but I have a batch of brownies that need to be made for the mayor first, so... Oh, I'll help. He jumped up and down a few times. Oh no. My eyebrows knitted together. Radley, Please, Ty. I don't think... Please, come on, I can help. Fine. Yay. It's so off for him to say yay with that voice. His smile grew, and he walked to the door and flipped the sign to closed. I sighed and walked into the kitchen to prepare the ingredients. It only took me a few moments to properly measure everything, and by the time I was ready to start mixing, Radley came into the room. What are you... He was wearing three aprons and a pair of gloves on top of his usual pair. Better to be clean than dirty. That is your version of better safe than sorry. His only reply was a giggle, and I sighed and shook my head. Do you want to start mixing, and I'll get the tray ready? Yes, ma'am. He saluted goofily and got to work. I grabbed my designated brownie pan and started putting a little layer of grease on it. I found myself looking over at Radley, and I realized he was stirring slowly. Extremely slowly. Radley? Tiger. Don't be afraid to make a mess. He let out the loudest gasp I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Tiger. Radley? What are you suggesting? He looked absolutely distraught, and I couldn't help but laugh. I placed that greased tray down on the counter and walked over to where Radley was standing. Here, I'll mix. Can you tidy up a bit? Yes, can do. He hopped away from the mixing bowl and stood beside me for a minute, watching as I stirred at a proper, reasonable pace. You're really good at that, right, Ty? I almost said Rads. You're really good at that, Ty. I would hope so. I only do it every day of my life. I rolled my eyes and stirred a few more times before putting the whisk down. No, I mean it. You're like the mixing master. The mixing mistress? You know, if they had a mixing competition, Carver wouldn't be able to reach your level of mixing skills, of course. I mean, other ways, too. He shrugged, and I laughed. Of course. Everybody knows Carver and I will never be on the same level. I gave him a confident grin, and he replied with a warm smile. There's that tiger I know and love. He leaned over and... kissed me? Wait, what? Love? He loves me. Why did he kiss me? I mean, it was just the cheek, but... I felt my cheeks grow hot, and he laughed nonchalantly. Then he walked over to do the dishes as if nothing happened. Hold on there, bub. You couldn't just kiss a girl and walk away. And what was that about loving me? Wait. It was just a saying. I shook my head as I realized I had just been standing there staring at him. The brownie mix stared up at me, and I dove to grab the tray and then dumped the batter onto it, and quickly threw it in the oven. I faced away from Radley as I tried to sort out my thoughts. What was that? What did it mean? Why was I reacting like this? It was just for the cake. There were no feelings here, except Radley's feelings. What if he really did love me? I was tricking my best friend into falling in love with me, and it was working? I was startled out of my thoughts by the oven beeping loudly, and I jumped up to pull the now-finished brownies out. Oh, they're done? Great, we can go now. Bradley bounced over energetically and looked as excited as a kid in a candy store. Oh, yeah, yup. We can go. I nodded more to myself than him. Okay, let's go to the fountain. He grabbed my hand and practically dragged me out of the kitchen. Yeah, okay. I tried to sound as excited as he was, but I couldn't get out of my mind long enough to accomplish it. We were both quiet on the walk to the fountain. I couldn't think of anything to say, and I was pretty sure that Radley was content just to be in my presence. Neither of us had said anything until we were sitting down. I looked around, and the town square was oddly quiet, considering the festival was 2 days away from now. The only elves around were a group of kids and their 2 designated caretakers. "Hey, Ty." Radley looked over at me, grinning his stupid, dopey, cute, annoying grin. "It's been a long time since you've done anything outside of work, and I was really happy when you asked me out. Even just sitting here doing nothing together is nice." He squeezed my hand. I could feel my guilt rising, and before I could say anything, a little girl was standing in front of us, staring with familiar, doe-like eyes. "Is that your boyfriend, miss?" She was grinning from ear to ear in a very Radley-ish way. Maybe Radley really did just grin like children do. I wasn't sure what to say, and I hesitated for a second. "She isn't my girlfriend yet, but I'll tell you a secret." He leaned forwards on the bench, and his eyes had that mischievous glint that I knew all too well. "One day I'm going to marry her." What? That was the last thing I was expecting, and it caught me even more off guard than the girl's question. The little girl squealed and let out a few giggles. "Cute! You two are cute! Can I come to your wedding?" "Sure." "Radley." The little girl ran away giggling, and I stood up from the bench. He jumped up and grabbed my hand before I could walk away. He tried to link our fingers together, and I pulled my hand away. This was too much. I couldn't use him like this. I had to at least tell him. Radley's so honest and sweet, and I feel so bad. Okay, let's see. So she's gonna tell him anyway in this sentence, right? "So, I've been using you. Probably not a good way to start. I don't think we feel the same. Also, probably not good because we might feel the same, but she just doesn't like the fact that she's using him. So, I'm gonna go, I'm so sorry. Radley, I took a deep breath and looked him in the eye. I'm so sorry. I've been using you. I never actually had any interest in you. I just found this recipe in my grandmother's old cookbook and it called for love, so... Ty, why are you upset? I already know. No, you don't know, or else you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't have said that. I've been an awful friend, Radley. I'm just using you, don't you get it? Ty, I already know. Calm down. He looked concerned and he put a hand on one of my shoulders. I was just glad that you gave me a chance in the first place. His smile pushed me closer to tears and despair. I was an awful friend. Why was he okay with this? Don't say that. I'm using you. That's not okay. I pushed him away from me and I turned and marched back towards my shop, not bothering to pay attention to whether Radley was following me or not. I charged into the shop and locked the door behind me. After taking a few calming breaths, I made my way to my room and tried to keep myself from crying. I used my best friend. I made him love me, all for some cake? All because of some stupid rivalry, and now... How could I face Radley knowing I very well could be breaking his heart? I couldn't use him like this. Radley deserves somebody better than me. I threw myself onto my bed and hugged the pillow, curling around it. I'm sorry, Rads. Oh my god, I legit am like the worst. Jesus. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I should have just said, I'm using you. Just full straight out said that. You know, I was trying to be all cool and like not be blunt about it. But Radley knows. He knows. He knows. And he was like, I know what this is. I'm just happy you're giving me a chance. And she walked away. So, okay. Well, this episode's done here. And I'll see you guys for the next episode when we will obviously fail. But it's okay because you'll get 2 episodes that day. And it'll be amazing. So, you guys know the drill. Have a great weekend. Have a good week. And good night.